Hi guys, welcome back to the train layout. Today I have an exciting unboxing and review for you all. It is going to be of these two new Amtrak ALC-42 locomotives. Let me start by just saying Merry Christmas, and I hope everybody got to spend time with their families. And I also want to thank all of you, the subscribers and other YouTubers who share the same interest as me as model railroading. You guys are the reason why I've been inspired to make model railroading videos for you all. Now, enough intro. Let's unbox these locomotives. This is the first time I'm unboxing these locomotives since last Sunday, the Sunday before Christmas. This is different. Okay, I see. They improved their packaging because the packaging in the SC44 Chargers box actually sucked because it came apart easily, but this one they improved. So, how you unbox it? There's two clips you have to undo, and I'm going to do this. Yep, so that's how you free it from its box. Let's actually unbox this locomotive. Alright, being free from its packaging, here she is in all her glory. Look at that. This looks absolutely amazing. So, a quick history lesson. The main purpose of the ALC-42 locomotives are to work along their corridor counterpart, the SC-44 Charger, and to replace the Amtrak P-42 DC locomotives that's been in service for the better part of over 30 years. Now let's get to the review. Now let's look at the fine details of these locomotives. Starting from the bottom, we have the snowplow with the separately applied grab irons. We have the MU cables. We have a Bachmann coupler. MU cable connection ports, or at least that's what I call them. We have the headlights and ditch lights in the same light housing. We have the Amtrak logo. The windscreen, the windshield wipers, the number boards. And now if we look at the side of the locomotive, I'll use the other one. We have fine truck detail. We have a crew ladder. We have the doors on either side with a double door handle. We have mirrors, an American flag, an F indicating the front of the locomotive, the type of the locomotive, ALC-42. And yeah, that's pretty much for the front and sides of the locomotive. Now let's take a look at the massive Amtrak logo and the rear of the locomotive. Looking at the rear of the locomotive and the sides of the locomotive that have the massive Amtrak logo, we have much of the same. We have the Bachmann coupler, the MU cables, the MU cable connection ports. We have the crew ladder, another crew ladder, I believe that's a battery box over there, separately applied grab irons, marker lights, the Amtrak logo, the back door, more grab irons, the running number above those grab irons, and the rear light. If we take a look at the sides of the locomotive, and I'll give you a better view, we have the massive Amtrak logo that's done very well. The paint is very crisp, no breaks. We have obviously the fuel tank down here, warning labels. We have the emergency shut-off switch, I think, and the fuel cap. As well as, most importantly, the see-through walkway with the see-through panel. Now, from what I've been hearing, the reason there's this see-through panel is it basically keeps the engine from overheating. In a way, this is how the locomotive breathes. Now, looking on the side of the locomotive toward the rear, we have the see-through panels with the see-through walkway. The main reason for this, from what I've been hearing, is to keep this locomotive from overheating while traveling long distances, just like the SC-44 Charger. This is equivalent to if your laptop overheats, it needs to sit on top of a fan to keep it cool. Well, same rules apply to this locomotive. If we take a look under the locomotive, there's not much detail, but there's two details I want to point out. These things over here, these breakable pieces of plastic, are to represent the sanding hoses. This is what engines use to climb steep hills, because sand gives them traction. And there's another set on the front, too. As you can see right there. And the other detail, which is not really a detail you're going to see, here's the fuel tank where the speaker is housed. Now let's take a look at the top of the locomotive. Now looking at the locomotive from the top, you have the air conditioning unit, the PTC antennas, the horn, a lot of panel detail. We have the dynamic brake fans, as well as even more panel detail. Though most of the detail is in fact molded, it still looks good on this locomotive. Now let's look at the paint scheme real quick. Now looking at the paint scheme of this locomotive, there is a backstory. As most of you may know, Amtrak was created in 1971 to help the private rail companies that couldn't be funded anymore. When I say funded, it means less people were traveling by train in favor of the automobile. So what Amtrak did when it was created is took all of the equipment, and this led to the Rainbow Era, meaning back in that time, Amtrak did not have its own logo yet, but when they did, there is the pointless arrow logo, and part of it is on the left side of this locomotive. So as you see on the left, it is part of the pointless arrow, but this arrow has a point at the end of it. As for the Amtrak logo, it's so blue. People who love the color blue will like this locomotive. And it's almost like an inverse of the old livery, only the Amtrak logo is in white rather than gray. You would think when they create a new paint scheme, even for airlines, they would want to use less colored paint, no matter what color it is. But I can see what they were going for here, and I still like it. It's going to take some time to get used to. And it's going to take time to get used to it pulling our long-distance trains. But times are changing, and it's time to pass the torch on. And one thing to mention about the color scheme, they didn't just color it all blue. As you can see, there's a white stripe on top, then below it's a white stripe and red stripe below the blue. So it's almost like an American airline color scheme, but this is Amtrak. What I noticed between the 40th anniversary and 50th anniversary of Amtrak is that the Amtrak executives wanted to celebrate it in a big way, and what better way to do that is to paint a few of their units into the past paint schemes they've had over the years, from the Phase 1 logo with the pointless arrow to the Phase 4 stripes pattern. And it's not just that, since we got the new view liners in, consisting of sleepers, diners, baggage cars, and bagged dorm cars. They were all painted in Phase 3, but not Phase 3, Phase 3B as they call it, while still wearing the Phase 5 logo on top. I think their reasoning for that is that Phase 3 was such an iconic livery back then. I wasn't really around that time, I was just a kid and never saw them for myself. They wanted to bring it back in full swing, and I fully support that. Alright, now let's get to the functions of this locomotive.
Attention, page 3.
Your attention please. Now departing on track 1, northbound train number 110. Passengers are advised to proceed to track 1 at this time. All aboard.
Now arriving on track 5, southbound train number 133. Please remain behind the warning line as the train approaches the station. All baggage must have identification. Please have your tickets ready and have a safe trip.
Overall, I recommend these locomotives. These locomotives, like I said, are absolutely stunning. Are they going to set you back a lot of money? Yes. Is it worth it? Also yes. So if they're still available, go out and get you some of these. Even if you want to buy 301, that's awesome too. I'm not really big on special libraries, even though I have 184 and 66 in my collection, but those were gifts kind of. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Oh, before I go, being these are the long-range chargers, there's no strobe lights or emergency beacon on the top, so just know that. And also, if you don't like my series of videos, and if you say something mean, like, I'm really not going to care. I literally just do this for fun. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.